Since I'm recording this on the 4th of July at 1:54 in the morning, happy 250th anniversary to the United States of America. Wow, can't believe it. That's like a quarter of 1,000 years. I wonder if the United States will last another 250. I guess only time will tell. Well, anywho, let's move on from that. I guess I'll talk about how the day went. And overall, the day went fine. I had today off, so I didn't go to work today. Instead, when I woke up this morning, I was asked by my mom to move my car out of the way. She drove off to work. I drove back up the driveway, went back into my room, and I went back to sleep all the way until like 1:20 in the afternoon. Yeah, super late. Wow. But when I got up, I remember I greeted my sister, and I found that there was this new Area 52 video that was available. So I thought, let's check this out. It was one of the new Skiff episodes. Oh, well, looks like my battery died on these headphones, so I gotta put them in the charger again. That's a shame. Okay, well, anywho, kind of threw a curveball, didn't it? I remember, I was listening to this Area 52 podcast called The Skiff, where he was talking to a guy who came from San Francisco, California, who worked in the military, who claimed he had an abduction experience in a nuclear test missile Air Force base, and he came across this with a coworker. They came across this what he described as a plasma orb that looked like the sun, but instead it was like in front of them, and then it felt like he suddenly couldn't breathe, and his coworker couldn't breathe, and it felt like their vehicle was kind of pushing into this thing, and like they couldn't move. And he specifically stated that the beings said, "Have no fear," but instead of something that he could hear with his ears, it felt like words that vibrated throughout every cell of his body. And then after that, he blacked out. And then when he came to, he was sitting next to his coworker, who was completely frozen. He was like just holding the wheel of the truck that they were both sitting in at the time of the abduction, and he was just like still. And the guy was like constantly like snapping, like waving his hand, like trying to shake him, and he just would not. It's like his muscles were like contracted in a way where like it wouldn't allow him to like move or anything. It was a really interesting story. And then he stated that he decided to go through hypnosis, where he wanted to learn more details of the experience. And he did go to hypnosis, but that's around the time when the clip ended, or not clip ended, but I stopped listening because my sister made waffles for me today, and I accepted those. She decided to do something different. She wanted to know what would happen if you took bread, you dipped it in like a French toast mix, you put that on a waffle iron, and then you poured waffle batter over it and pressed it in and then spun it. Lo and behold, it tasted pretty much identical to a normal waffle, and it looks like a normal waffle too. So, I mean, it was pretty interesting that she was trying something different. Overall, though, the only difference that I could really pinpoint was that the middle was a bit softer than the area around it, the middle, which was slightly more crispy, but that's about it. Well, after eating that breakfast that my sister made, which was quite good, I asked my family friend if they'd be interested in helping me out with driving me to the nearest propane refuel station to get a exchange a new propane tank. They agreed, and so I decided to continue listening to the Area 52 podcast. And by the way, the part that I described was much later, after eating the breakfast. Throughout the whole podcast, it was basically the guy talking about all of his experience about how he led up to the military before getting to that moment. So it wasn't like very, I wasn't cutting to that chase super fast. But anyways, as I was listening to it, I took the old propane tank. It had some grease on it from previous cookouts, so I didn't want to bring a greasy car into our family friend's a greasy car, a greasy tank into our family friend's car. Sorry, it is 2:01 in the morning. But anyways, so yeah, I got some soap water. I scrubbed that down real good. I sprayed it with water, and I dried it up. I told our family friend that was good to go, and so she went outside. I put the tank into the back of the vehicle. We drove off, and we arrived at a refuel station where they advertised an exchange being $27. So I was like, okay. So I brought the tank into the station. I let the cashier know. They brought someone in to do the exchange. I paid for it. For whatever reason, even though the advertised price for the exchange was $27, the final amount was like $28.57 or something like that. So I guess that's like taxes or something. Anyways, I wished them a happy 4th. I went out to the exchange center. I gave the guy the old tank and got the new tank. I wished them a happy 4th of July. Got in the car. We drove off. Our family friend and I had a pretty interesting discussion, pretty interesting chat. When we arrived back home, I hooked the propane tank into the grill, the gas grill. And after that, I remember I decided to go in my room, and I was looking for something interesting to watch on YouTube. And what I came across was this guy who was talking about, I think it was like Disney's weird like Let's Play era, like Disney Channel's Let's Play era, where they tried to make like a relatable like series for gamers. And like the funny thing about the video was like the guy was like, yeah, they were selling these like gamer shirts at Walmart, and it's total cultural appropriation. Like this is like racism, but for gamers. It was pretty funny. But yeah, basically the actual Disney Channel show was just like, generic, sitcom style stuff. But there was like an episode where Markiplier was brought into an episode, and he said like okie dokie or something like that. And people tried turning it into like a meme online, and that's what brought this to the video creator's attention. And so we decided to talk about it. I don't remember the name of the video creator. He's like someone new I've never heard of before, but like I remember he started the video saying, yeah, all these other content creators where they decide to use like this cartoon emoji to like discuss like things that they enjoy watching or just watch. I'm just gonna do some Minecraft Let's Play in the background. That should be perfectly fine enough. And so yeah. So, I respect bringing things into a different direction, that's for sure. Um, when I was beginning the video, I found it quite entertaining, but I wanted a snack. So I decided to make popcorn using ghee, um, and also the Flavicle popcorn seasoning. So I had that. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. It really does bring the flavor of this popcorn to another level. And I put an additional ghee on top to give it that buttery texture. So, when I had that ready to go and I got a Pepsi Zero Sugar outside from the fridge, I went back into the room and continued watching this video. Not much to really say beyond I thought it was entertaining and I wanted to see what other content the guy made. So I decided to go on his YouTube channel, and one of the videos he made was like talking about AI slop channels. And one of the AI slop channels that he was talking about was like this, like basically like the dating island show, but it was like for realistic humanoid fruit characters, like cartoon fruit characters. It looked pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, just didn't really look appealing at all, not gonna lie. After I was done watching that, I decided, ooh, what else could I see? So I decided to look up one more video from his channel where he was talking about this game called I forget what it's called, but it was like from a developer called YonderDev or something. And I was so disinterested after like the first 3 minutes that I just clicked away as very quickly. Like, I do find a story about like a game creator going through certain struggles and trying to figure stuff out to be fascinating, but sometimes if it's like the creator causing problems for themselves instead of actually actively solving the problems that are being brought to them in a way where it shows some strong mental maturity and growth, then I can't bring myself to watch that. It's just like, it just feels like you're watching someone like shoot themselves in the foot multiple times. I mean, it might be like interesting on a character study level at first, but pretty soon it's just like watching the same show over and over again. Just like, I guess this person's never going to figure out why what they're doing is ridiculous. So why should I wait to find out? So I just dropped out. It felt like a waste of my time. Then I came across this video that I was watching a few days ago of these guys playing the Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal game. I wanted to continue watching that, but at the same time, I felt like I needed to do a few things. So I paused it. I went out of my room, and I remember there was this this thing hanging next to the grill that I was worried would like be a fire hazard. It was like this curtain. So I got a ladder and I went up and I moved that curtain away and folded and put it off to the side. And then I was like, well, since this is the 3rd of July and we have the steaks, I think I'll work on those steaks. So what I did was I decided to get ready by, but first before I did that, I was like, wait a minute. I said I would be making a pie earlier, but I haven't made a pie yet. I think I will do that. So I decided to start with the crust. I was following a recipe online where like you need to cut the butter in a way where like it's still chunky, but not in a way where it like melts or like becomes too clumpy. So I did that. I put that in with some flour and some salt and some sugar. And I was like pressing it in there with a little like kitchen tool until it was nice and crumbly. And this is the part that always trips me. Well, first the butter part, like because I'm like, okay, so do you have to chop into little squares and then break it down until it's like clumps, or do you have to like grind it until it's fine butter bits. Like it's tough for me to figure that out. But on top of that, the other tough thing to figure out is learning when to stop adding ice cold water, because I was like adding a little bit in there and mixing it out a little bit. And right at the moment when it seemed like it was almost there, but it was still quite dry, I decided to add just a half a tablespoon more, but I feel like that might have slightly overdone it. But I was like, well, it can't turn back now. So I turned into two separate bowls and wrapped them up and put them in the fridge to be rolled out and turned into a pie later. Then after that, I was like, oh, well, I might as well get the dinner started. So I started with the longest one, thing that would take a while, and that was the potatoes. So I got 5 potatoes. I skinned those. I chopped them into squares. I actually got a pan. I filled that with water. I warmed up the water until it was boiling, and I got this cool little like steamer basket where I put the potatoes that were skinned, chopped into squares, and then washed, put into the steamer basket, and I put that over the steam boiling water and put a lid over that, so that way the potato block chunks could steam over the course of like 20 minutes. And what that would do was it would create a perfectly steamed 4 tender potato chunks that could be used to make the perfect mashed potatoes. So while that was happening, I was like, okay, what can I do while I'm waiting? So I decided to do some research, and I found out that you can actually double duty and put corn into the boiling water that's steaming the potatoes. But I didn't want to do that because I wanted to wait until the potatoes were almost done before putting the corn in. So when the potatoes were done and I put them in a separate container, I had the idea of asking my sister for some help. So I went outside and I asked if they could put some milk, some heavy cream, some butter, and some salt and pepper into the steamed potato chunks and turn that into a good mashed potato. And she said yes, so I thanked her, and I put the corn on the cob, 4 corn on the cobs into the boiling water and had that boil for quite some time, and then about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I decided to finally use that as the time to cook the steaks. So I got the 4 steaks that me and our family friend split the cost for, and I put oil and seasoning on top. It was like garlic, salt, and pepper seasoning, with a few other seasonings that were added into that one seasoning. And then I went outside, I turned on the grill, I waited for it to preheat. Once it was ready, I put the steaks on. Had them go 4 minutes per side. And then when that was done, I put them on a plate and put some aluminum foil over them. I went outside. I told my mom and my sister that dinner was pretty much good to go, but they were spending that time cleaning the pool filter because the backyard pool was starting to get green, and usually that means the filter has been quite, used up. So the only way for it to, have clear water for the pool again is to clean the pool filters. So they did that, and they were just finishing it up, but they needed my help with finding some wires. And then after they found those wires, they then needed help tightening the lid for the filter container, so I helped with that. And yeah, then my mom turned on the pool filter at maximum speed, so it could clean the whole pool out quite quickly. I do remember when, as it was doing that, there were some what sounded like bubbles popping every now and then from the the pool filtration system. Not sure what's going on there because everything was put in fine back again, but hopefully that isn't a sign of anything serious. But anywho, moving along. After that, we had my sister yeah, made those mashed potatoes, put them in the air fryer to keep them warm. I decided to put the steaks in the grill, like with one of the grill fires going to keep it warm with them having indirect heat. And then when everything was ready, we had the meal split between all four of us: family, friend, me, my mom, and my sister. So we had mashed potatoes, we had the corn on the cob, and we had the steak. My sister wanted this special garlic sauce for the steak, and so did my mom. So my sister was working on that. My mom decided to fix the shelves as she was doing that because she didn't want to eat her steak until she had that special garlic sauce. And so she was fixing the shelves. She asked why the shelves were off. It's because earlier in the day I actually was looking for a meat thermometer, electric meat thermometer, and I couldn't find it. But so I was like pulling the drawers out to see if they were anywhere near at the back. So yeah, I let her know that that was me, and she was like, "Well, next time put them back in correctly, please." And yeah, after everything was put in and good to go, we all had a nice meal together. We had sodas. Um, our family friend Sprite. I had a 7-Up tropical beverage. So to my sister, my mom had root beer. Yeah, we enjoyed each other's company. We enjoyed the food. It was an excellent meal, I think, courtesy of me and my sister. Then after that, we decided to go off to an area because our local area was having fireworks tonight. So we stopped by near the area in a location we hadn't been before. In any previous year, we decided to look at the fireworks, and we just sat there and we looked out at them. And yeah, it was really nice. We really enjoyed those fireworks. Then, when we were done, we went back home. I decided to work on the pie. I rolled the crust out. I put it in a glass container. I put that in the fridge. Started with the freezer, then halfway through the half-hour wait, put it in the fridge. So the sun climbing heat from the 425-degree oven wouldn't shock the glass and have it crack. And then after that, I took out the pie crust. I put aluminum foil. I put like rice in there, and then I put in the pan, and then I put that in the oven. While we were waiting for the pie to get ready, me and my mom were watching this cool western on YouTube, and I think it starred Clint Eastwood. It was called like Hanging Out or something like that. It was about like how Clint Eastwood was wrongly, his name is Cooper in the movie. He was wrongly accused of a crime he did not commit by like a group of like these ruffians. So when he is saved and he is, it's confirmed he did not do the crime. He is made like deputy of like a sheriff of this western town and asked to bring these guys who um, hung him to justice. So he goes off on a big adventure. Um, it's a really good movie. I really did enjoy this. It had some good tension. It had some good morality issues. It had some interesting and very traumatic moments for certain characters throughout the plot. It was a very engaging story, and I really did enjoy it. And throughout the watch, we'd go back, we'd take the pie crust out. My mom made an excellent and delicious berry filling with mixed berries and strawberries, and that was incredibly good. With some lemon juice for tartness and some like sugar in there. And then, you know, we took the pie out, we waited for the crust to cool down, we put the sauce in there, then we waited for that to cool down before putting the crust on top. Now, I wanted to put a perfect like crust on top, but I rolled the crust that I rolled out into the fridge and then the freezer. And when I got it out for this, like it was stuck to the rolling pin, so like I had to pull it off, and so I had to just put the pieces on there like they were all broken pieces kind of like the episode of SpongeBob, like Artist Unknown, where like he rips a bunch of pieces of paper and then puts them all into like this, you know, cool image like Leapfrog or something. It's pretty funny. Now I'm thinking about it, that episode, Artist Unknown, was probably a reflection of Steven Hillenburg's experience, you know, being an artist, or maybe just all the animators' experience being artists. But I don't know. It's a funny episode regardless. Anyways, got carried away with that. Moving along. Yeah, so I put the pie crust on there. I put it in the oven. My sister came back. She decided to watch the movie with us, and she was really into it. She was like actually like locked in on this film, and so were me and my mom. We really enjoyed this film. It was very engaging. And then luckily we did have like 20 minutes left before the pie was actually done and ready to eat. So we went out, we cut the pie into equal slices, we put it on plates, we found some ice cream in the freezer, we had the ice cream with the pie, and yeah, I made some coffee to go along with my pie because I like pie with coffee. We finished watching the movie, and then when we were done, we all decided to go our separate ways. We said goodnight, we love each other. And then I took vitamins, I brushed teeth, and I made this video. So yeah, that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. I'm going to post this bad boy, and then I'm going to go to bed because I go to work from 10 to 8 tomorrow. So I better get some shut-eye. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a fantastic day, and happy 4th. Even though this vlog was covering what happened on the 3rd. I guess I'll say happy 4th again tomorrow. So, yeah. All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.